Is this the end of Faceless YouTube? Would AI channels be no longer monetizable? What kind of channels will be affected by the new monetization policy? And is it even worth starting a YouTube channel anymore, since YouTube can literally just wake up with a new policy that could cripple that channel? Now, these questions have got a lot of people panicking and is probably going through your mind since the release of the new YouTube monetization update that will be rolling out on the 15th of July. Now, YouTube has finally broken the silence. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down what exactly this new policy really means in plain English. I'll show you who's truly at risk and who's completely safe. I'll explain what kind of content you should avoid so you don't waste time or lose your channel. And most importantly, I will show you why having a YouTube channel is still a great idea in 2025 and how you can still make real money on YouTube even if you're not monetized yet. So this is going to be a very straightforward video, so there's not going to be any much of typical edits. Now, YouTube released an update that they are rolling out a new policy aimed at identifying and limiting what is called mass-produced and inauthentic content. Now, I'm just going to share with you my screen to give you word for word on what YouTube said. Now, YouTube says, we are making a minor update to our repetitious content policy. To better clarify, this includes content that is repetitive or mass-produced. We're also renaming this policy from repetitious content to inauthentic content. This type of content has always been ineligible for monetization under our existing policy, where creators are rewarded for original and authentic content. There is no change to our reused content policy, which reviews content like the commentary, clips, compilation, and reaction video. I know that the initial updates that YouTube had sent had made people scared when YouTube said YouTube had always required people to produce original content, and there has been an uproar from a lot of people who have been doing Faceless or AI niche. Now, I know that it may sound vague and scary and still unclear on what exactly you should do from here on after. However, with regards to this update, YouTube is mainly targeting channels that simply copy and paste content from other creators without adding anything original. Channels that use AI tools to churn out hundreds of low-quality videos that provide no real value, or even mislead viewers by impersonating brands, people, or using deceptive thumbnails, titles, or channel names. Now, here's where most people are getting it wrong. YouTube is not saying that AI or Faceless or voiceover channels are banned. The real issue is how you use those tools. If you're using AI or doing Faceless videos where you're adding your own sort of voice, ideas, research, or any form of creativity to it, then you're probably not the problem that YouTube is trying to solve. In fact, YouTube gave a response to that effect just to ease the tension going on amongst creators right now. YouTube says, creators, let's clear up some confusion on the minor July 15th YPP update. It is not a new policy. We are just clarifying our repetitive content policies includes mass-produced content that already goes against the rule. So it's really not a policy update. It's just reinforcing what the policy already entails, so you are better able to understand what is eligible and what is not eligible under the YouTube monetization. So what exactly are mass-produced content? Now, YouTube is practically talking about channels that churn out hundreds of nearly identical videos. These videos are entirely made from AI with no human creativity or any form of personal touch, or channels that simply re-upload other people's videos with very minimal edits or additional perspective to it. For example, a news channel that simply reads headlines word for word without adding any analysis, or AI voiceover channels reading generic articles or scripts pulled from the internet without adding any form of opinions, unique visuals, or personality. This could also include compilation channels that just add together clips from TikTok or other creators without even adding any form of commentary. Now, YouTube considers this low value because they are often spammy, repetitive, and don't add original value for viewers. So just to get that into much more detail, this is a much more expressive, detailed response from YouTube. Now, what exactly is changing on July 15th? There is no introduction of a new policy. It is just a minor update to the long-standing repetitious content guidelines, because, of course, they regularly update and evolve policies based on the content of YouTube. And of course, this update is supposed to clarify that the policy includes content that are mass-produced or repetitive, which is content viewers often consider as spam. And this content has been considered ineligible for monetization, as YouTube has always encouraged for creators to be original. Now, does this relate to reuse content? Well, there's no exact change to the reuse content policies as stated here, which guide commentary clips and compilation. This content can continue to monetize if you have added significant original commentary, modifications, or educational entertainment value to the original video. Also, will AI in my content be a violation of inauthentic content, which is what a lot of people have been looking forward to getting information about? YouTube actually welcomes creators using AI tools to enhance their storytelling, and channels that use AI in their content remain eligible to monetize. All channels must follow, of course, the monetization policies and are required to disclose when their realistic content is altered or synthetic. Now, what exactly are some of the examples of what is considered mass-produced content? Now, an example that YouTube gives is a channel that uploads narrated stories with only superficial differences between them, meaning they re-upload the same stories and there's almost no tangible difference between the stories that they upload on their channel. So they churn out a chunk of very similar, almost no difference kind of videos on YouTube. Also, a channel that uploads slideshows that have the same narration. Now, the list is not exhaustive because it can go on and on depending on the content or depending on the current kind of content that is being pushed out on YouTube. Now, the part everyone has been looking to hear with regards to AI and faceless channel is that faceless channels are not banned. AI tools are not banned. In fact, YouTube and Google encourages AI. Of course, with the rise of Google VEO3, YouTube is actually encouraging the use of AI tool in enhancing your creativity with your content, whether it's cool visuals, scripts, as long as you're adding your own ideas, opinions, or storytelling. So the key here is originality, unique perspective, and overall adding genuine value for viewers. Now, how do you keep your channel safe and how do you future-proof your channel? Now, you want to ensure that you are creating original scripts or commentary. If you are not already doing that, this is your cue to start doing that. You don't just want to copy text from blogs or somewhere else. You want to write it in your own words, share your own thoughts, add your own personality. Also, you want to use AI as a tool, not the final product. AI is fine for inspiration, scripts, or even visuals. Just make sure you personalize it and make it yours. Also, you want to avoid reused or stolen footage. You don't just take footage from public domain, even if it is not flagged on the YouTube platform as copyrighted. Taking public footage and reusing them on your content are typically not allowed on YouTube, and of course can be flagged for some of the policies with regard to the monetization policy. You don't just want to recycle TikTok compilations, other creators' videos, or stock footage without any significant changes or commentary. Another way to future-proof your channel is by showing unique visuals or storytelling. Now, even if your face isn't on the camera, you want to use graphics, animations, B-rolls, storytelling, or any other form of creativity to keep it original. Now, you might be thinking, but is YouTube worth it anymore, given that YouTube can wake up, bring a new policy, update their new policy, and it could just affect my channel? What if monetization gets harder? How do I actually make money on YouTube, given that, of course, I'm bounded by their policies? And this is the part I'm most excited about, because when it comes to YouTube, YouTube has countless opportunities, and you do not have to only rely on ad revenue to earn from your channel, even though every creator is looking to earn from ad revenue. But there are other means by which you can make real money on YouTube. And even if your channel isn't monetized yet on YouTube, that is exactly what I break down on how you can do it step by step in another video I created, as this was actually based on my own personal experience. And if that interests you, you want to click the video you see on your screen right now to check it out, because it might completely change the way you look at YouTube income. Ciao.